Hey folks, so got called to sort of a pre-estate sale. A guy came into the store and said at some point he was going to be having an estate sale, and was I interested in a few things. And this is one of those cases where I went thinking, no, don't buy this stuff. But in the end, I did, because sometimes that just happens. Um, and what I got called into was to look at some antique bottles. Now, antique bottles, some of them can be worth a lot of money. I am not an expert on bottles by any stretch. I collect like 50s and 60s pop bottles just for strictly for the nostalgia, because when I was a little kid going into variety stores, it was still glass bottles. That's how old I am. But I also really like the artwork. A lot of them are sort of that screen printed on their artwork, and a lot of them are really, really great. Now, there are some pop bottles in here. There's some earlier stuff. I didn't go through every single bottle in this case, because they were pretty inexpensive for what it was. He basically was saying, I just want to get rid of them, but I don't want to throw them out. And essentially, he had just been picking them up here and there at garage sales over the years. And where he lived, there was clearly an unmarked old dump. And he said bottles would just pop out of the ground, and he would pick them up. He also had some records, which I bought. Nothing great, but I did get two things which I absolutely adore and are fantastic picks. I'll just show you a quick glance of them right there. Pretty amazing things, but we'll go through the bottles first, just real quick. You know what? No, we'll go through the records first. Again, the records, nothing spectacular. In fact, the best one out of them, this Marley and the Whalers Exodus, didn't have the record inside. It's all right. I can put that, it's a good condition cover. I can put that away in hopes that someday I get another one. Zeppelin 2, record's in pretty good shape. Cover, not so much. Dylan's Blood on the Tracks, one of the best Dylan records ever made. This is kind of harder to find too. The Bob Seger system, like sort of previous. Some Queen, some AC/DC, David Lindley, lots of like other Seeger. Like most of this stuff is going to end up in the $5 bin, no doubt about it. So there wasn't anything spectacular in there. Some bread and butter stuff that I always sell, like the Eagles. There's some more Eagles, Meatloaf, some Elvis. Ooh, this one I'm actually putting in my collection because the records are in nice shape, and it's going to be an improvement record-wise on the one that I have. So nothing spectacular in there, but again, bread and butter stuff, which is what sells here at the store. So let's go through some of these bottles. Now, I went through a few of them. I didn't go through all of them because it was basically, he essentially, for what I paid for the other things and the records, he threw in the bottles. That being said, like, the tubs are worth now. I don't know if you guys have been going to buy plastic tubs lately, but man, they're like 10, 15, 20 bucks a piece. Even these ones are like 10 bucks a piece. They used to be 5. I sound like an old man. But anyways, here we go. Just your basic, weird shaped bottle. You probably just grabbed it. I would have probably left it in the ground myself, but hey, everybody has their own. What else we got in here? There is a Associated Milk Dealers milk bottle. It's kind of nice. I know that there is a pretty good market out there for milk bottles, but usually it's the screened ones. Well, that's nice. 6-ounce burners with the screen thing on there. That's great. That's a good bottle. Needs a bit of cleanup there. I'm gonna clean up pretty good. Now, most of the bottles I've got in the store are between $5 and $10 a piece in the pop bottles. I do have some in here. What's this? That's a fairly earlier wine bottle. Yeah, a lot of this stuff I don't know much about. But here's the thing that I've learned over the years. The best way to learn about things, what is that one? Mount Dennis Dairy Co. Yeah, that's pretty good. Quart bottle there. Half pint. as they say. The best way to learn about something is to actually do it and just buy them and learn. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. Generally, if you've been at this game for long enough, you're not going to lose. You might break even, but these, when you're picking them up cheap as this, you really can't lose. So that's another milk bottle from Michigan. And if the guys who are out there, if you guys are bottle experts and just laughing at me, which I totally accept, let me know. Like, put it in the comments. Tell me, and if there's something great there that I'm missing. There's another Martin Dairy. Oh, that's from Welland. That is really misshapen. That thing looks like it's been near a fire. Loaned and returned when empty. Yeah, that guy's seen some heat. It's got a little bit wobbly on there. I actually kind of like that. But yeah, if you see anything in here, A, that's really great that I'm missing out on, let me know. And B, that's just Raleigh's. B, just tell me, like, you know, if this was a bad buy. But again, super cheap. Like, honestly, like, I'm paying probably around less than $1 a bottle, well less. Silverwood Safe Milk. So it's got a Hazel mark on there. The diamond and the D, which I believe is the Dominion bottle coat. Which, you know, that's kind of neat. I get the free something or other in the bottom of that one. Roots Dairy, don't know where that's from, never heard of them. I suspect, although he also had a lakefront property there, that's where he was, and he said stuff used to just wash up on the shore. He said a lot of these colored liquor bottles would pop out of the thing, which makes me think probably Prohibition, because when the U.S. Went into Prohibition, Canada wasn't. And Canada, that's an old Javex bottle. Again, these are like, you know, a few dollars max type thing. Not a great deal. Cool looking bottle though. That's clearly from the Deco era. Just look at the way it's shaped. But Canada's liquor industry went into overdrive, and empires were built. That's the Seagram's folks, were built on, that's just a mason jar, bootlegging. So essentially they would run their liquor across. Now, many times in the States, to fight this, they would have police officers or federal officers on boats who would hit the other side, just your standard bottle, who would hit the other side and chase down these speedboats filled with illegal liquor. And often, the guys would just dump it and run. And so there's probably lots of bottles sitting on the base of like Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. It's Hollybrook & Co. I don't know what that is again. Kind of cool, good looking bottle though. And they would wash up eventually, and he said he used to pick them out. Now, let's see what we got here. That is a Wishing Well bottle. I think they call these the Art Decos. These white, or sorry, clear glass. Pretty good shape. It's a heavy bottle. Let's see what else. There's another milk. No markings on that guy. And then most of this stuff is going to go out on the cheap table. But you never know. Again, I didn't go through all these. Man, that one is wrapped in there tight. What do we get out of this? Oh, that's unusual. I don't know what that says on there. I can't see that. Can you see that? Wonder Drinks. True Fruit Wonder Drinks. That is a really interesting shaped bottle. Not one that I've seen. Again, I was dragged around to, I've been hundreds and hundreds, probably over thousands of antique shows in my life, because my parents were collectors, as I'm sure I've mentioned before. And so you just sort of become familiar with shapes and sizes. And that one, I gotta admit, I haven't seen before. That's just your standard milk bottle. The thing about bottles is that decorators do still use them because they look good on shelves. and when displayed right. They also look great on windows with the light coming through them. So it's always a smaller market for them. Pinkham's vegetable compound. That's a bigger one. I actually have a couple of small ones for that. We'll put that out front. Oof, that's a big one. Frosty Nip. Frosty Nip. I don't think you could call it that today. Beverages, Hamilton, Ontario. That's an earlier one. Again, it looks like Dominion glass because that D is in there. And the diamond. Frosty Nip. All right. This is a giant one. I think I actually did look at this one, and it's like basically like a cider jar. Just says made in Canada on it. Getting down to the bottom, there's one other cup. That is R.W. Jones ink. But it's milk bottle. So it must have been a quart liquid. Quart milk bottle. And then, yeah, there's just another. It's bigger, slightly smaller than a quart milk bottle. So that's that tub. Let's see what we got in this other one. See, and this kind of just goes to show it's not all constantly amazing finds of super rare stuff in this business. There's a Dunnville dairy. Unfortunately, it's a bit worn, but still, that's local stuff. I've sold those in the past for $25, $30 a piece. Locally prepared by Dr. Peter Farney and Sons, Winnipeg, Manitoba. That's an interesting one, probably like quack medicine type stuff. Seagram's Mighty Oak from Little Acorns Grow, and that is probably going to be a cork top. It is still a metal top, but I bet you a cork in there. So this is probably later 50s, just by looking at it. It's a great looking bottle. Yeah, cork in there, cork lined cap. So probably 1950s on there. I'm running out of space to put stuff on this table. But that was a cool little bottle. Not particularly old or rare, but interesting. Henry K. Wampole. Probably, again, medicinal drink. What do we got here? Yeah, that doesn't look like it's that. Oh, yeah, there you go. 75th anniversary. So that would have been probably right around 1975 or mid-70s. I've actually seen these before, and people do collect them. Not a great deal of money, again, but still pretty cool. It's that's the first Coke label. And in this 75th anniversary, which I believe was 1975, they decided to do this. They did this small run of these bottles, Coke bottles, with the original first label on there. Screen printed on there. Man, I got a lot of recycling to do after this. Patterson's Camp Coffee and Chicory. So that would have been like coffee. Probably this weird. Usually coffee was in jars, but who knows? What do we got here? 70s Pepsi bottle. Yeah, a little bit worn, but still kind of cool. What else we got here? Oh, man. Just a bunch of smalls in this one. Again, tiny little bottles. These were probably out of the, what does that one say on there? Virgin, and insist on Virginia Dare flavors. I said virgin flavors. And then just a little, probably medicine bottle again. There's one more in there. Yeah, just another dugout medicine bottle. What do we got here? Well, that's interesting. That is Shorty Ginger Beer. Old English ginger beer. That's kind of neat. I haven't seen one of those around. That's kind of a cool one. I like that. And then another Coke. It's a later one because it has Coke on there rather than Coca-Cola. Oh my god, this video is going to be so long. Is this another ginger beer one? What is that? Colonel Sam Johnson, proprietor, Richmond, Virginia. Probably, again, a little medicine bottle. Oops. What is that? This looks like, oh, it's a little holy water thing. When the churches probably used to sell these to raise a bit of money. Take a bit of holy water with you home. Yeah, that's a racket. All you got to do is bless it, and you can sell all the water you want. M. Winslow's bottle. Yeah, these are starting to get into the small medicine type bottles. That's just another interesting medicine bottle. I don't know if there's one more in there or not. Yeah, just another medicine bottle. Let's see. Bigger ones. Another no name. I'm seeing some of these for the first time too. So, oh, there is, that's Evangeline. That's what they call another Art Deco in the pop community, as far as I know. If I'm not, shoot me a message on there. And I believe there's a young lady's face embossed on there. These are probably 1920s or 30s. Not an expert again, but I believe that is the case with these. Usually clear glass and embossed. There's a little Sprite bottle. It's weird, for this period in time, and I don't remember these, so I'm thinking it's probably pre-1970s, because I was alive in the 70s and buying pop. There were these sort of half-size bottles. They were a little more like stubbies. So if you guys know what those are, when they're from, because I think it's the 60s, kind of think it has to be, because, again, I was a kid in the 70s, and I don't remember those. So, down here, getting close to the end, and then I can show you my favorite thing that I got. The Dodge Chemical Chemists, Toronto, Ontario. Products and scientific compounds. So that's basically like a druggist's bottle, which is kind of neat. That noise. Let's see what we got on there. I don't know what that says, but it's from Portland, MA. We got just another no name. Okay. Move some of these out of the way. It's a fun little boot. It's actually, it looks like a ski boot. That wouldn't make sense. Oh yeah, that's what it is, ski boot. That's kind of a fun one. Oh, look, marble. That's actually an early marble. Yeah, that's an early cat's eye. That is just a little squat bottle. Again, probably medicinal. Some color. Look at that. That is something seed. It's a nice green bottle. Again, people collect the color ones just to put up on their windowsill, but that is nice emerald green bottle. I wonder how many times I've said bottle. Now there's an interesting one. Is that a glass stopper inside that, or just a bead that somebody stuck in there? Probably just a bead that somebody stuck in there. So not as interesting as I'd hoped. Some more smalls. Look at that. Oh, there's one. So that one is purple. It's not a poison bottle, which a lot of it says 1852 on it. Colonel Sam Johnson. Jaundice bitters. So this could have started out, because it's not that deep of a purple, could have started out as a clear bottle. And they used to use cobalt in a lot of the early bottles. And over time and through sun exposure, that will eventually, clear bottles will eventually turn a lighter purpley color, just through the
this chemical process over the years with sun exposure, and that's clearly what's happened there now.
See? Crystal Beach. Oh, cool. Crystal Beach Midway. Oh, that's pretty cool. I haven't seen one of those in a long, long time. So, for those of you who don't know, Crystal Beach was a huge draw here in southern Ontario, and it was a lot of Americans would come over on the shores of Lake Erie, and it was a giant amusement park. It was huge. It'd been there since the turn of the century. It was just a plain beach, and they put the amusement park on there, and people collect Crystal Beach stuff. Okay, that's just your standard bottle. Man, I got a mess to clean up after this. So we're getting near the end of these, and then I'm going to show you the best thing that I got out of the deal, and it was totally unexpected. 1982 Buffalo. That's kind of cool. Coke bottle. 1832 to 1982. There you go. Because I went there just looking at the bottles and the records, and that was it. And then he said, oh, I got a few other things. And I did my natural look around when I got in. And was like, hey, you want to sell me this thing? And he was like, sure. Can't see why anybody would be interested in that.
Till on there.
There's one of those sort of stubbies. It's a Pepsi stubby. It's kind of neat. Oh, there's just a bunch of smalls wrapped up again. He did have one bottle that he didn't want to sell me, which he said, oh, it's milk and magnesia. Which is too bad, because it was probably the nicest bottle out of them all, but that was the one he was keeping out of all of them. Was a Paps, and it had the ceramic stopper on it, and fully embossed and completely hand blown. And he said he got that was one of his first bottles he ever got out of the lake, and it was a really cool one, but he had sentimental attachment to it. So who might argue with that? That one's Montreal. That's malted milk. M&M mark. So that's kind of interesting. Look at the size of the paper. It's getting taller than this. That's another clamp. There's another Pepsi stubby. Slightly different than the other one, actually. Two little smalls. Can you tell I'm really only interested in the bigger bottles? And then that is an O'Keefe's Ale beer bottle. That's kind of cool. That is an early beer bottle. No label on there. Usually you don't find paper labels. I've had a few early Labatts with paper labels, but you don't, they're just few and far between. There's some more medicine bottles, small. Certo, nothing special, kind of dime a dozen. And then this I think will be the last one that looks like a milk bottle. Horlicks malted milk, so that would have been a milk. Looks like a half pint. And then, yeah, that's it. The other ones just look like smaller medicine bottles. So that is all the bottles. Like I said, there's nothing outstanding amongst this group. But they were cheap enough that, you know what, kind of worth getting. And over time, I'll just throw them out on my cheap tables, and they will sell over time. There's actually one or two here that I'm going to do some research on that sort of caught my eye. This one, again, is kind of an interesting one, and that Crystal Beach one. will probably end up going up online, but the rest will probably end up here just in my cheap bin. But what I did get, the one thing I was saying was, I'm a sucker for Italian pottery, and he was actually using this ashtray, and I said, would you consider selling that? Because I recognize it as Italian without seeing the mark on it, which is right there. It's upside down in that shot. I haven't researched to see what company it would be yet, but love the garish colors. And he was like, sure. I mean, he's like, I just use it as my dump out ashtray. So, yeah, we washed it off, and I picked that up off him. But this, he came out of nowhere with this. He just said, oh, what else I got? Oh, yeah, this. And he went behind like a curtain and pulled this guy out. And this one, and you get to see it before I clean it up, it's pretty spectacular. It is a ashtray or smoking stand, and it's all cast iron. It is probably, well, definitely 1900s to 1920s era. Has this amazing lion, leaping lion on there. And the patina, people picking it up over the years on there is just spectacular. There you go, get a better look at it there. It is complete. It has its little cap that just lifts off, but that was it. You could put that over top of it, and then, you know, you could use that as the ashtray and then just dump right in there. This piece comes right off because, again, they thought of it so you could go dump out all your ashes back in the day, and it just fits on there. So that's, you know, a great piece of design. They thought it through, and it's got this great, you see it over top here, 4-leaf, oh, sorry, just clover, 3-leaf clover, not 4. And underneath, you can't see it because there is a lot of dust and stuff. I haven't done anything to it. Is this nice kind of green, light green paint on there. And this has sort of a bronzy finish, and great lion's feet at the bottom. That's a stellar piece. I mean, and that's an early piece too. So that was completely unexpected. Super happy to pick that up. And yeah, again, I didn't pay too much. Essentially, for what I paid for the ashtrays and the things, the bottles were essentially free, so it was worth picking up. But now I've got a whole big mess to clean up. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that one again. Let me know if you guys saw anything in there that was interesting that I don't know about, or if you've had any experience with collecting bottles. Yeah, hope you're able to find some more stuff during the week. Bye.